Okay, what's up? We are back, and the hard part of Arnold prep is done.
Yep.
Kind of in the deload phase. And I think everybody has beat to death the predictions about the Arnold Pro.
Yeah.
And I think an equally cool show is the Arnold Pro-Am, mostly due to the change in format.
It's sick.
It's going to be cool.
It's so sick.
It's open to basically any international pro. If they just want a shot at the Arnold Classic, they can come. A little bummed out seeing the roster.
Oh, yeah, this has been a fun year for...
There's some guys that I'm like, why the hell aren't you there?
Do you want to get into that first or later?
No, we'll get into that later.
Okay.
But
yeah, there's some dudes I'm like, what are you doing?
It's just such a cool opportunity. But, you know, the guys that answered the call, the ladies that answered the call, the weight classes that are treating this like a new world title.
Yeah, because it is now.
Because it is. It's, you know, and whether you want to call it a world title or whatever, it's building out a year-round cool schedule for athletes to do where there's some money to be made.
Yep.
So, I don't know. I think it's an overall net positive. So, the events, max log, kabuki trap bar deadlift. They're probably using the last kabuki trap bars ever to be made.
Yeah. Well, you want to give some details? Max log 3 attempts.
Okay, max log, 3 attempts. Above 300 pounds, it's 20-pound jumps.
Yep.
3 rounds powerlifting style.
Slater log.
So, you know, for the real experienced guys, I don't think the Slater log really is that much of a wrench.
No.
You get 3 or 4 cleans on it, you have it down. But, yeah, I think the guys... Yeah, actually, we'll cover that later.
Yeah.
Kabuki trap bar, 720 or 900 pounds for reps.
That's a lot.
Trump style. 900 is a lot. And the Kabuki trap bar, if you've never used it, is not like a Rogue high handle trap bar.
No, it's low.
It's a low. Like it's an old football style trap bar. So it's properly hard. Yoke, 900 down and back.
Easy peasy.
I think that was a little soft there, James Deffenbaugh.
A little light, brother.
1,000 bones.
Soft
every
on the
time.
boys. Make them men.
Do 1,100 for 40. Like, you know. What if they win and they have to do the bail tote next year?
I mean, they're still going to lose that event too, but
I know.
It's fine.
Okay. The most brutal event of the whole show.
Dude.
There is a Cerberus bag load medley.
So sick.
So it switches between normal bags and Hoos bags. They're not set that far from the yoke, but they got to carry them and load them. So 350 standard bag, 353 Hoos bag, 375 standard bag, 397 Hoos bag, 400 standard bag. What the hell, James?
Dude, James straight up said, fuck you, dude.
Good luck,
But
everybody.
you know what? I like it because our biggest critique of the Arnold Amateur, now Pro-Am, in previous years was it doesn't get them ready for the pro show.
Sure.
And this certainly will.
This certainly does. That plus the max log, plus a properly heavy trap bar.
It's perfect.
Sure, the trap bar, it's not a normal deadlift.
How mad are you that this wasn't the year that you did the Arnold Pro-Am?
Dude, these events are awesome.
Yeah.
Anyways, then they cut it down. There's a final on Sunday.
Yep.
And the final will be a hoist lift.
Top 10 athletes.
Top 10 athletes. So pretty cool. James has built it. He hasn't really shown it, unless I missed it. I don't think James has officially shown his setup yet. Going to do a big reveal. Usually the finals events are on one of the stages, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be a great way to, you know, start the final in front of the big crowd. And then they're going to end with a really cool event, max keg load.
Which gets ignorant.
Yeah, it's going to get ignorantly heavy. It's a thing where the world record is somewhere in the 5s. Matt Webb has it.
Matt Webb has it. I think it's like 528 or something.
Yeah, so I think loading that or more is totally in range.
Bro, we're going to see 600 pounds.
It's possible. It's totally possible. Yeah, what's funny is seeing these events. If you are a good loader,
Your show.
right?
Good mover, good loader.
Good mover, good loader. Yeah, I mean, there's actually nowhere to hide in this show.
I love it.
There's nowhere to hide.
This is the show that you wish you had when you
Yeah,
did the
hoist
Arnold.
lift would have been tough.
Yeah, that would have sucked.
Yeah, but, you know, pretty cool show. So you want to go through the men?
Yeah, I'm going to butcher a lot of your names. All right.
There's a lot of athletes from overseas, which is really cool. Some guys paid for those expensive plane tickets and answered the call.
I'm so glad they're coming. So we're going to go over the full roster, then we're going to talk about the guys that we think will actually do well in the full show and where you think they're placed and all that jazz. So starting from alphabetical order, we have Anthony Blazano, we have Ajuna Rakarai. He's from California, so I don't know. Luke Badaracco. I'm fucking all these up. Andrew Langelar, Ray Kahuna, Tyler Thompson, Billy Hornzade, Josh Gregory, Andrew Burton, Joseph Basiria, Seth Sukup, Colton Rhodes, Jack Osborne, Trey Goldbold, Goldbold, Mark Sanchez, Raul Flores, Zachary Price, Himmler, Johansson, Jacob Mikaha, Zach Davis, Jordan Osborne, Joseph Payne, this guy from the Czech Republic. Oh boy, let's go for it. Matthias Funiak, Brian Hines, Josh Hatfield, David Pakolewski, Anders Oslak, the fucking, what's he call himself again?
Oslak the Destroyer.
Oslak the Destroyer. John Green and, oh, fuck me.
It's, Josh, good once as he ever was, Hatfield.
Yeah, right. Then we got Tichabuki Techagalades.
From where?
Georgia, the country.
Okay.
Tassalahades.
We got to pull up that Instagram, I
Because
think.
he might be a murderer, right? Oh, fuck me, man. Oh, but on Instagram, his name is Chabuka Chigalahades.
There may be some translation issues.
I'm definitely fucking your name up, homie, but I'm looking you up here, and you just did a 200-kilo log for 2. Oh, fuck. This guy's a problem. Sick.
Okay.
Love that. So he's not
Really good strongman from Georgia.
I love that.
Put him on your good
He's
list.
on the list now. He's on the list. All right, so let's go over, how do you want to do it? You want to do like per event, how we think who will do well, plus and the guys that we think will do well entirely?
Sure.
Or, yeah.
I think we just break it down event by event.
Let's do it.
So, Max Log, I think I've seen a couple
terrific
people
guys.
go over the show, and they're thinking Jack Osborne from the UK. Not a bad pick.
No, but he won't win.
He won't win. No,
And
I
he's
genuinely don't think
And
that.
he's a 205-kilo presser.
Maybe 210 if he had a good peak.
I think he'll hit 210.
Yeah, and honestly, I think there's 3 or 4 guys that'll be about 210.
I think people do not understand the level of just, frankly, just how good these amateurs are. Or even,
Yeah.
It's a pro-am now, but whatever. Like, we're going to see Zachary Price hit 210 or more, right? I think we'll see Jack Osborne, who hit 210, potentially more. We're going to see this now Georgia guy potentially hit
There's
210 or more.
the guy from the Czech Republic.
The guy from the Czech Republic who's Matthias, he's 19 years old. He did 190 kilo for
for a
2.
double.
What the fuck are we even talking about, right? Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
So now we have potentially what? And then maybe one other guy will get close. So we'll have potentially 4 to 5 guys.
How's Jordan Osborne from Australia? I don't know if he's not really known as a huge presser.
I think he'll hit like 185, 190.
And that's the thing. There's going to be this huge traffic jam,
400.
about 180 kilos,
Yep.
400 pounds. I've seen a lot of guys in training hitting a 400-pound log, getting excited about it.
Yep.
So, like, it comes down to who then, a lot of those guys, their PRs right around there,
Yep.
who's going to get that 420 jump.
Exactly.
And that'll be a huge jump. And then that lead pack will be 440 to 460.
Yeah, there's 4 guys that will be 200 kilo plus. At least 4. That's
And we've
crazy.
only ever seen that at North America's Strongest Man.
Right. So for those that don't know, North America's Strongest Man had the most 200 kilo presses in any contest in the history of the world. What's up, Giants Life? But but
We can see it again.
we can see it again, and that's Bananas Town.
Yep. Weird critique, and maybe I'm wrong.
Yep.
Because I've only seen him train on his metal log in the gym, and his metal log is very different than the Slater. I don't like Jack Osborne's clean.
What about it?
It's
Because this could help him. What about it?
it's not squatty enough.
I was gonna say it's too rolly.
It's
right?
too like
He
it's like a
rolls.
roll.
Yeah.
But see, like your log has the handle and then there's the edge, so you're very tilted.
Yes.
The Slater's not that. You need the wrist wrap.
Yeah.
You need to more row it as opposed to tilt it.
And then you need to squat
You
longer.
have to squat first, then turn it.
Right.
Because I just saw I see very hard cleans from him,
Right.
but his press is through the roof.
Yeah.
So
That's a good critique.
I'm sure he's done a Slater before. He's done a lot of shows,
Yeah.
and maybe I'm just a hater.
No, you like Jack.
I do. I know
Yeah.
he could totally, smoke 210, maybe 205, depending on what they do.
I think he's gonna hit a minimum of 205.
Well, but it is 20-pound jumps, so
Oh, right.
it's 210, and then it's 460, then 480.
That's fucked.
Yeah, see, like that's the thing.
I bet you James will,
460, then 480.
I bet he'll give him a little.
We'll see.
You know what I mean? Change it up a little bit at the end.
Who could hit 480?
Just by the look of it, maybe this Georgian guy.
Maybe the Georgian guy. Maybe Price.
Price could hit 220 kilo for sure.
You think so?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Zach Price, if anyone's going to do it,
Zach Price could hit
I
480.
think Zach Price is winning the event,
Yeah.
right? But if anyone had the highest chance of hitting a 484 or a 480 log, it's Zach Price.
Sure. Okay. Fair enough. Kabuki trap bar deadlift. It's one of those things where for certain builds, you have to do it like a hip hinge deadlift because it's so low.
'Cause if they're
certain
very-
builds can squat it.
Yeah,
And the guys who can squat it
will destroy.
will do 5+ reps.
And I think this is where someone like Jack creates more separation.
Sure, he's a squattier guy.
He's very squatty. He has very strong legs, and he knee wraps his trap bar, which I thought, that's actually kind of smart.
Hell yeah.
He knee wraps the fuck out of him.
Nice.
Like he's going like 3 millimeter shit. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So, and this is where someone like Zach Price is going to lose some points.
Yep.
Because he's not going to be the most talented guy. He might not even go for the heavy one.
The guy that I think probably wins this event,
Yeah.
wasn't talked about in the first event, is Mark Sanchez.
Mark Sanchez.
Mark Sanchez.
He's the squattiest motherfucker on
The
earth.
squattiest squat man.
Yeah. He's going to destroy everybody on that.
Yes, he is. I think that it's just low enough that I think most of the really tall athletes are really going to struggle.
And we forgot to mention him because he will do pretty good on log, but it'll be in that 180 kilo jam, I bet.
Yeah.
But he'll show here Seth Sukup.
Seth Sukup, great presser.
Great presser,
And
great
he'll be
squatter.
good on this. Great squatter.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've ever seen Andrew Burton on something like this.
I haven't personally, but the way he's built, that dude's sturdy.
He is sturdy.
I think he'll do well.
I think the safe critique of Andrew Burton is to put him outside of the top 10 in any event is a mistake.
Yes.
He'll figure out a way to get in there.
Yeah.
He's going to be in that like 180 kilo pack on the log.
Yeah.
He'll probably be in the second pack on the deadlift.
But I bet as the show goes on with these events, he starts stealing points. Points.
Because like the events coming up is where Andrew Burton starts to just steal
demolish
points.
people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yoke, I think at 900 pounds, it's just a coin flip.
It's a bit of a coin flip. Honestly, if he shows up in shape, Josh Hatfield.
Yeah.
Josh Hatfield.
Josh Hatfield has done. Oh, actually, on the trap bar as well. Josh Hatfield.
Yes. All right. Duh.
Just
Josh is gonna,
ignorant back strength.
What did Josh Hatfield do at America's Strongest Man the year Bobby won? He
It
he tied Bobby on
It
the
was
trap
like
bar.
12 reps
At 900.
At 900.
It was 900
It was on
pounds.
the rogue trap bar,
Yeah, a little different.
but still, like it was a ladder that went 700, 800, 900, and they did 12 reps.
Him and Bobby Thompson tied.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like Josh, if he has to do something ignorant with his back, he's going to do it.
He's about that action.
Yeah. And then Yoke, super fast.
I think Josh is good on the yoke.
He is.
Also, Seth Sukup,
Seth Sukup.
pretty good at yoke.
Did Burton put up a good time in Americas? I think he did.
He did really well. at
Everyone put up a
Americas.
good time in Americas.
Americas was weirdly strong with the yoke that year.
Yes. So, but see, going 900, I don't think it's heavy enough to create giant separation.
I agree.
Even at 1,000, that's kind of just the way it is now.
Yeah.
I get why he went 900 to go lighter than America's Strongest Man.
I don't think it should be.
I don't think it should be. I think if you're going to
There's a proper pro-am.
put the word pro on it,
Yeah.
unless it's some crazy medley, the yoke is 1,000.
I would agree.
I mean, in the like Rainier right now, I have the yoke at 900. I think I'm just going to make it 1,000.
Well, we've talked about it. Yeah, we've talked about it quite a bit. If you're a gentleman who's going to a show like this, and your goal is to do well, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, but what I would say is, as a caveat, don't go to shows like this unless you're ready to do well at the Arnold Pro show.
The next show, yeah.
Right? Being good here isn't enough. You need to be good enough for the next show. So if you go to a show like this and 900 or 1,000 is heavy to you, do not sign up. Like, just don't even. You're 3 years away, buddy.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and that's okay. Like,
there's nothing wrong with that.
yeah. But if you've seen it before, where guys get through to the next level too early,
Right.
those guys' careers are done.
I would argue, for example, Oscar, the year that he beat you at Arnold Pro-Am.
He just, I think,
Or on
but see,
amateur.
like you throw Oscar into like Worlds or Giants Alive,
Pretty good.
and like if you just go to the appropriately heavy shows,
Right.
You like, okay, he's an up and coming guy. But if
Right.
you get artificially put into a tier that you might not be ready for,
Right.
the promoters think this guy's not that good.
Especially
And
when
he
it's
is good.
He's very good. Especially when it's a show that's hyper specific to a type of show. Where the Arnold Pro, for example, the Arnold Pro, that is we're gonna find out who the strongest motherfucker is.
Yeah.
Not the best strongman necessarily.
Yeah.
So if you're a guy who's just really good at strongman and you qualify for that, but you're 20% down on your lifts, dude, you're in trouble.
Yeah, like if you're in that pack of guys that you're excited about a 420 log, and you're about to go to the Arnold Pro, you have a weird year ahead of you.
Yeah.
Like a hard year of training.
I agree.
So yeah, I mean, we'll get off our soapbox for a minute.
Yeah.
The sandbag medley.
Whew,
This
Burton.
is going to be cool. Andrew Burton,
Burton City.
Joseph Payne,
Joseph Payne, Josh Gregory,
Josh Gregory, Josh Hatfield,
Josh Hatfield, Seth Sukup.
Seth Sukup.
We have a bunch of murderers who can move.
yes.
So right now, I think the names that are somewhat consistent the most out of this sounds like Seth Sukup the most to me.
Yeah,
I think Seth Sukup at this point might be leading.
could be.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's so hard to say. It's hard to predict a show that has a final because
Right.
we don't know who's going to make the final.
Right.
But I think the names that were like the common thread.
Yeah.
I think if you have a particularly bad event in the first four, you're out.
That's safe. I think it's
Yes.
safe to assume. And so far, like we finished the prelim events. The top 10 guys that we've talked about, or top 9 in this case, again, that we think are probably going to make the finals.
Okay.
Josh Gregory, Andrew Burton, Seth Sukup, Zach Price, Jordan Osborne, Joseph Payne, Josh Hatfield, Matthias Funyik, and the gentleman from Georgia.
That's 9, and I would say
9.
the 10th would be Jack Osborne, depending on his loading event.
Did we not say Jack Osborne?
Is he not in that? I don't think he. Just
We
said-
didn't.
No.
Jack, you're in our
I
top
would put
10.
Jack Osborne.
Yeah.
And honestly, I would put a decent to fair chance for Mark Sanchez and Joseph Payne as well.
Joseph Payne we have.
You have? Okay.
Yeah.
Mark Sanchez doesn't have a particular. Mark Sanchez needs to have a great loading medley.
I was gonna say he'll
could be in
kill
range.
those first 3.
Those first 3 are great.
He'll kill. It's just the bag.
The bag, yeah, and it's fairly high, and he's fairly short. And those bags are huge.
Goes from 56-inch to 52, but the weight is crazy.
Yeah.
In a good way. I like the weight.
It is, and I just in an event like that, I will bet against a garage gym guy
Every time.
every time.
You get out of the garage, dog.
Get out of the garage. Go to a real gym.
Get out of
Get
the
some
garage.
training partners.
Yeah.
Okay, so we made our final. We have a rough idea of who the final is.
Yep.
Hoist lift. Andrew Burton. Josh Hatfield.
Done. 1 and 2.
Ignorant-
Or 2 and who knows? One of those guys will win.
Ignorantly strong hands, strong backs.
Yep.
It's like, are you strong enough to do a single arm pull?
Right.
And those 2 guys are.
Yeah, Burton and Hatfield will be 1 and 2 in that event.
Yes. And it's so new. It's such a
And the rest
toss-up.
is a crapshoot.
It's kind of a crapshoot. So it's kind of hard to say. Max keg lift.
Again, Josh Hatfield.
Josh Hatfield.
His name's coming up a lot.
It is. It would be so funny to me,
Dude, if he won,
Hatfield makes the Arnold Pro.
nothing in my heart would be happier, and I would laugh so hard at him because the year that he would have ahead of him, he would hate
The Arnold Classic. Hatfield's putting knee wraps on for everything.
Yeah, he wears a stupid hat, like he just does it.
Oh man, it could be done. But max keg load. I think if you're not 500 pounds or more, you're not
in the conversation.
You're not in the conversation.
No. The squatty boys will show out on this.
Yeah, and again, Sukup.
Seth Sukup. I think Osborne will do great. Guys who are a little bit longer but not able to use their legs, like a Joseph Payne, will probably do pretty well. And he's tall.
He's super
he doesn't
tall.
have to stand up too much. This is interesting. All right, give me. It's hard to say, right? Because we could be totally wrong. Maybe there's some random guy we don't even know who's going to come and whoop ass. But give me your potential top 3. Give me your podium.
So,
based on this information with the names we got.
Podium.
It's hard to say.
We haven't seen much, but I have such a hard time because I don't think I've seen enough of the guy from Czech Republic and the guy from Georgia, and they're both putting up gigantic lifts, and that's just what they're showing us.
Yeah, we're not betting against you two, by the way, guys. If you happen to see this, we just don't know enough about you.
Yes, those 2 guys could entirely be the guys who come in and wreck house.
Totally.
Because there's been a lot of guys from overseas.
Dude, that 19-year-old Czech kid is crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that have just showed up to the Arnold Amateur in the past and just destroyed.
Yep.
It's been done. Oh man, I want it in my heart to be Josh Hatfield.
Same. I'm biased.
But no, who do I think my likely winner is? We have said the name Seth Sukup a lot.
I think it's Seth Sukup.
I'm not going to bet against Jordan Osborne. I think the first 2 events may be a little too staticky for him.
Jordan's either Jordan or Jack.
Jordan,
the Australian.
yes,
Right.
They are both going to do good, but struggle on opposite end events.
Yes.
But yeah, I think Seth Sukup is the only one that I don't see a gigantic hole. And Josh Hatfield, if he can just get in the top 6 in log, if he just busts out a 420,
He'll do it.
he could do it.
Yeah. That's an interesting call.
That's an interesting call.
Yeah, I would say my betting favorite, if I had a bookie's favorite, would be Seth Sukup.
Yeah. Okay. It's so hard. I mean, that was kind of the least sure predictions video we've ever done.
Well, we just don't know the guys. It's hard with
even with research, and you only have what they post.
Right.
And a lot of these guys don't have a deep Strongman archives either.
And most of these guys, barring just a few, you haven't competed against, so we haven't gotten to see.
Yeah.
Some of them you have, but
Yeah. But so I think the more interesting conversation here is who's not here?
that's good. I'm
Who
glad
is
you brought
not
that up.
here?
We have a list titled "Where the fuck are you?"
Yeah.
And on that
Because
list,
I got to say this. If I was not invited to the Arnold Classic this year,
dude,
as 2-time America's Strongest Man, as 2 podiums at North America's, as 3rd strongest man on earth, I would be at this Pro-Am show wrecking house out of pure spite that I'm not on the Arnold Pro stage.
Yep.
If there is ever a year where I'm not invited to the Arnold Pro for some reason,
We're going.
I'm going to this show and destroying.
Yeah.
What?
There's nothing wrong
But
with
see,
that.
guys are completely okay going to a Giants Live qualifier.
Right.
You just got the keys to the like the ticket to go to the Arnold Pro. It's the same exact thing as what OSG is.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Honestly, it's kind of better. There's way less athletes.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing you see with like Shaw, the Shaw Open.
Right.
The guys we're about to list, a lot of them you don't see. They don't do it.
It's very strange.
It's weird. They'll do OSG, or they'll just like sit on their laurels and be like, I've already done all these shows.
Right.
I don't need to qualify. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, bro. The moment you don't get invited to some whatever show, I don't give a fuck. We're going to a qualifier.
Yeah. So I get it. There are people, you want to compete a couple times a year, make them count.
Sure.
Maybe they're going to World's Strongest Man, maybe whatever. The guys on this list that are going to Worlds, I do understand it.
Yep.
Because they want to put together a good Worlds peak.
Yep.
That being said, if I had the goal of being one of the best strongmen in the world, part of that is being at the Arnold.
I would agree.
So
I think the Arnold Pro is classic.
Leaning into Worlds and Giants is not going to get you the Arnold Classic unless you're like a Mitch Hooper, Singleton. It's just not going to do it.
Even guys like, for example, who's on this list, but we'll get to the list in a moment, like we could use Luke Richardson as a perfect example.
Yeah.
Luke Richardson is an athlete who I personally think would do very good at the Arnold Pro Show.
Yes.
He's won Europe's Strongest Man. He's been on Podium at a multitude of Giants lives. He's been to World's Strongest Man. He made finals. He's an incredible strongman. The fucking Arnold team doesn't give a fuck. Has he ever been invited to the Arnold? No.
They don't know his name.
This is a show where Luke Richardson would mop the house with people.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
If he was on this list, here's 6 events. Here's potentially 6 wins.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go on our list of where the fuck are you?
Yep.
And by the way, this doesn't mean we don't like you or anything like that. We're just like, bro, you would be good.
I
here.
actually genuinely curious. Where are you?
Yeah.
Like, what is your plan for the year?
First list on our name on our list, we have Tim Buck. Second name, we have Bryce Johnson. We have Wes Derwinski, Luke Richardson, Shane Flowers, Eddie Williams, Adam Radzikowski. Thank you.
Yep.
Grekov from Ukraine, Shamay from Russia, Matt Rag, Pavlo Kordiaka, Rhino Heinle asked for a qualifying system again.
Every time that they don't do a qualifying system, Rhino Heinle is raging in the comments.
Yeah.
We should bring back the qualifying system.
Well, they have it now.
The qualifying system's here, dude.
It's back, so do it. Tristan Hoth, Joey Lavallee, Gabriel Reum.
Yeah, and
These are, by the way, we have these guys on these lists because every single guy we just said is fantastic and belongs at a World's Strongest Man, belongs at some of the bigger shows. They're all incredible. You just might not know who they are. Some of them you do. But we think they should be here because they'd probably win.
Yeah, there's a weird mix of guys that have done some incredible things already.
Right.
And some guys that are looking for their opportunity to do their first incredible thing.
Right, like a Joey Lavallee.
Yeah. Both have their different reasons for not going to the show, but it's like, I might.
Right.
Like, some of those guys, they're prepping for Worlds. I get it.
Yeah, and we're obviously not criticizing your decisions not to do it because, like, who knows what they're doing with their life? Maybe they're having kids. Who knows? Like, life is a thing. But it would just behoove you so much to do this show because you'll get to where you want to go eventually because we know that certain ecosystems don't feed into others. If you're just a Giants guy, it doesn't necessarily mean you'll make it to Arnold circuit. If you're just an Arnold person, it doesn't necessarily mean you'll make it to Shaw. You know what I mean? Like, you have to diversify how you compete in order to expand your potential.
Like, of the World's Strongest, I get it. I get why people lean into the World's Strongest Man Giants Live system.
Totally.
There's only 2 men that are invited this year that didn't do a direct qualifying route to Worlds.
It's only 2.
It's me and Matthias.
That's it.
It's a scary way to try to make it.
And frankly, I said it to you before you got the invite. I would not be surprised at all if you didn't get invited.
Yeah.
We didn't do their circuit.
We didn't.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We wouldn't necessarily
But the same thing is
deserve
true
one.
if you're sitting here and you've never done anything to do with the Arnold.
Right.
Or Rogue. They don't know you.
Right. And what did Jan Todd know before she invited you to the Arnold UK? You took second at the Arnold Amateur and you won America's Strongest Man.
Yes.
And for her,
the Arnold Amateur put me on her radar.
Yep.
And then I did something else and I proved it.
Yes.
You don't necessarily need to win this to get on the radar. It helps.
You know who else didn't win this show and then eventually became a huge star of the Arnold?
Thor.
Thor took second place in the Arnold Amateur. A Polish gentleman beat him. That guy got injured. Jan Todd said, fuck it. Invite that guy, took second. And now we have Thor.
Yeah.
So, like, just being in the room and doing well enough is a good thing.
And especially, like, if you are a guy who, when it's 10% heavier, maybe 5%, like 10% slower, you excel.
Yeah. Like a lot, like Joey.
Yeah, like if your first world-class experience is going to Giants Live or World's Strongest Man, you're not going to excel. But you could excel if your first time on the big stage is like an Arnold Classic or a Shaw Classic.
Right. Like, for example, Bryce Johnson is a gentleman who just got invited to Worlds based on his performance at OSG, which is amazing. I'm super stoked for him. However, I'd be willing to bet that Bryce, if you were to say, give him his first shot at Worlds, first shot at Arnold, I think he would do better at the Arnold.
If Bryce was in this year's Arnold Classic,
Everyone's in trouble.
he is in the top 5.
He might be in the top 4, top 3.
Yeah.
He's really good.
He's really good.
He's really good.
He's really good. And he's good at the stuff we're doing.
Yes.
So, I don't know. Take that with a grain of salt.
This is purely just like just conversation. It's
but
not
also,
like we're critiquing you.
Like, it's the first year. They didn't announce this until kind of late.
True.
Guys had their year plan in.
It's true.
So we'll see what this evolves into in future years. But I think there's a potential that every pro that isn't invited to the Arnold Classic has this show on the radar in the future. And then it becomes an even crazier show because it's a crazy show now.
I fully anticipate this show being one of the most enjoyed pro shows of the year.
Yes.
And it just happens to qualify for an even bigger one.
Sure.
Because the opportunity, because again, like we mentioned, so long as you're just a pro in your country's system, James is going to give you an invite.
Yeah.
Right. And whatever that means for your nation, that's really opening. That's cool.
You want to cover some brief thoughts on the women's show?
Oh yeah, let's do that. We'll do the women's open real quick.
And I don't want to. The reason I say brief thoughts is I'm not an expert on this roster.
Yeah.
I didn't do the in-depth research on it. It's just like with the open men, I've competed against them. This also, like, we're not experts on every woman all over the world. No. But
or every
we do know a lot of these women.
Yeah.
I think the best way we could do this is just a couple to watch out for based on who we know and who we've seen.
Yeah, we'll mention a few names. We do have We have a list of 9 that we think will do quite well.
Yeah.
I'll go over that quickly. Mary Forrest, until as of today, she unfortunately pulled out of the show due to an ACL injury. Taylor Doxey, Stevie Alibe, Jackie Rhodes, the new Jackie Rhodes. She's been reincarnated. Cassandra Moore, Jackie Oshczewski, Morgan Irons, who's looking real good,
looking real strong right now,
and our dark horse Sherry from Zambia.
Zambia, yes,
Woo.
Yes.
So I think I'll do 3 standout names to me.
Okay.
4. I'll do 4 standout names. Stevie Alibe, and I'm biased. I coach her, but I know she can do well. Jackie Oshczewski, Morgan Irons, and Sherry.
Yeah.
Those 4 to me are real standouts. Now, not that the other girls can't crush or maybe even win. I just know the most about those 4.
Sure.
And I know that they're with these particular set of events, they're going to crush this show. The only event that stands out like, oh, this person has a major deficit to me in terms of this list so far would be Jackie Oshczewski. She's just not good at overhead maxes.
Okay.
So I anticipate her kind of getting like maybe a 92
but
kilo.
But I think there's some windows that may open with Morgan Irons and Stevie being on the shorter, squattier side.
Totally.
On some of these events.
Especially the loading of the sandbags. Jackie should crush that. Oshczewski specifically.
Because those two, if they're not leading the log, I'd be shocked.
Yep.
Right? But...
and one other girl, Blunderbuns. I'm forgetting her name. Forgive me.
Her Instagram is
Blunderbuns. She just hit 130 kilo log.
Damn.
Yeah. She's from Australia. She did well at OSG as well. Okay. So she's like my 5th, like, oh, watch out for this lady.
Sure.
But yeah, so like, Jackie, for example, not good at the log, but Jackie's going to crush that flag hoist. Because she's making finals.
Sure.
And she I think she might have the best grip, her and Stevie. So there's opportunities for, I would say the women's show might be a little bit more of an interesting contest.
Yeah.
Because there's bigger holes in the men, so it creates these larger swings. So it's just fun to watch.
You see it in the Arnold Classic for the women as well.
Yeah.
There's such different archetypes of women that like there's not 4 super well-rounded everything lifters.
Right.
There's maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And it's like staticky, there's fast, there's like
Yeah.
It's
going to make for a good show. But what I think is going to be interesting, I'm curious to see who wins. Hopefully I would love my client to win, but it's going to be exciting which one of these girls makes it to the big show next year because the level step is
big.
Is real big on the women's side.
Yeah, and it's like whoever wins. I mean, on the men's side too. Whoever wins, you got to put together a year of training.
You know what? I'm gonna do this now because I want to pull a couple of guys aside at the show, but I'm just gonna do it now. If you win this show, whether you're on the men's side or the women's side, I implore you, coming from a coach with a lot of experience, do not do another show at all for the year to come. Don't do a single fucking show. Create 4 mesocycles of training. Have 4 mesocycles and have 3 microcycles in each one, and periodize your whole year for just a maximal strength and strength endurance based show at the end of that year, because the Arnold for either gender is just going to be a punch in the mouth, and you just have to be ready.
Yeah.
If you do your regular calendar after this potential win, and you do, let's say, 3, 4, 5 shows, you are not going to be prepared for the pro show.
You're not.
You will not be physically strong enough to excel. That would be my best advice.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I get the argument guys have because it's like Tom Evans did it, right? Like he had that year where he nearly did the triple of all of the, but it's like by the third one of the triple, he was damn near hurt.
Yeah.
And
Which is
that
always
could
cheating.
have jeopardized the next season.
Yes.
And since then, he's been hurting. Tom Evans has been hurting.
He hasn't had a lot of time just to put training together.
No.
He competes a lot.
But see, like, he was very statically strong at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's
He beat you on pressing events.
He did. And especially, though, if you are lacking on the static side, that advice he just gave is way more important.
I would agree.
If you're like, okay, I already have a 9 to 950 raw deadlift.
Sure.
I can do a 400 log for 4.
Right.
Okay, maybe you could compete a little bit.
Sure.
But if you're lacking on the static side, you just have to put together a whole ass year.
I agree. Like if you're on the women's side, if you can't press 130 kilos, don't do other shows. If you can't press 200 kilos for the men comfortably, don't train for anything else. Like just get stronger for the Arnold Pro.
Yep. Because if you play your first Arnold Pro, right, you're set up. Yep. You'll get to Worlds. You'll get to Strongest Man on Earth because Brian's paying attention. Yeah. You'll get to those shows. It might take 18 months after, but you'll do it.
Most people might not realize it was only after you podiumed at Arnold UK that you got a DM from Shaw.
Yeah,
and
that was it. That's what did it.
Yeah, he's like, you're strong enough. I want you.
Yep.
Right. So set yourself up for a very good year, guys, and just make sure you're prioritizing growth versus competing for the sake of competing.
Yep. All right, that was a lot of ramblings. That might be our longest predictions ever.
Yeah, it was great.
How long do we got, Braden? 30. 30? Yeah.
Oh, dude, we're efficient, brother.
We're just covering stuff.
Let's go.
Yeah. All right, we'll shut it down.
Peace.
Yeah. Bye.